after Rahul's drunk UP youth taunt.
कल मैंने देखा वाराणसी में यूपी की सच्ची हालत, शराब पी के पूरा आपके युवा वाराणसी में नाच रहे।
Prime Minister Modi slams Rahul for insult.
जिनके अपने होश ठिकाने नहीं है, वो यूपी के मेरे काशी के बच्चों को नशेड़ी कह रहे हैं।
From Aishwarya Rai to Ram Mandir.
मैं पूछना चाहता हूं, आपने राम मंदिर का फंक्शन देखा? उसमें आपने एक ओबीसी चेहरा देखा? उसमें अमिताभ बच्चन थे, ऐश्वर्या राय थी।
Every Rahul attack countered by Prime Minister Modi.
इनकी पॉकलट का एक और भी कारण है, इनको काशी और अयोध्या का नया स्वरूप बिल्कुल पसंद नहीं आ रहा।
Big Rahul versus Modi face-off. Top focus on 6 p.m. Prime.
Good evening. You're watching 6 p.m. Prime here on India Today. I'm Akshita Nandagopal. Over the last few days here on 6 p.m. Prime, we've been getting you some of the highlights of Rahul Gandhi's Bharat Jodo Nyaya Yatra. Some comments deemed controversial, some that no doubt have grabbed headlines. And today, the Prime Minister from his constituency of Varanasi has responded to a lot of the comments that Rahul Gandhi has made. And we'll get you some of the highlights of what the Prime Minister had to say, particularly in response to Rahul Gandhi calling the youth of his constituency as drunkards. We'll get you all the reactions on that. A quick check of the top 6 headlines. Prime Minister Modi flays Rahul Gandhi for his drunk Varanasi youth remarks, says Rahul abusing youth exposes his frustration.
जिनके अपने होश ठिकाने नहीं है, वो यूपी के मेरे काशी के बच्चों को नशेड़ी कह रहे हैं।
India bloc seat-sharing talks in full swing. Congress and AAP likely to announce deal shortly. Congress Trinamool Bengal talks resume. Rahul holds talks with Mahavikas Aghadi as well. Big allegation by the Aam Aadmi Party claims Arvind Kejriwal will be arrested in the next few days, says AAP threatened over its alliance with Congress in Delhi by the BJP. Big showdown in Karnataka Assembly. Chief Minister Siddaramaiah accuses the centre of stalling state funds. BJP hits back, says allegations are false and politically motivated, leads to resolution versus resolution in the Assembly. Sandesh Khali showdown escalates. BJP Mahila delegation stopped from visiting survivors. BJP MP Loket Chatterjee detained and then released. TMC Neta's house also targeted. NSA against farm leaders revoked. Haryana police urged protesters to maintain peace. Family of farmer killed given 1 crore compensation by the Punjab government. Varanasi's youth are drunk and inebriated. Aishwarya Rai nachte hue. OBCs and Dalits aren't there at the Ram Mandir Pran Pratishta. These are all comments from Rahul Gandhi in the last few days at the Bharat Jodo Nyaya Yatra, different locations, where he's lashed out at the government on several issues. And as I just pointed out, some of those comments have also created controversy. And today, Prime Minister Narendra Modi responded to each of these comments while in his constituency of Varanasi, particularly taking offence to the drunk UP youth comment made by Rahul, calling it an insult to his children. Let's get you some of the highlights of what the Prime Minister said in response to Rahul Gandhi.
Chants of Jai Shri Ram and Modi reverberated in Kashi as the Prime Minister returned to his Karma Bhumi. Ahead of the general elections, Prime Minister Modi set battleground Uttar Pradesh on fire. The Prime Minister was in top form in his constituency as he launched a blistering attack on Rahul Gandhi and the Congress. The Prime Minister tore into Rahul Gandhi for calling the youth of Varanasi alcoholic.
कल मैंने देखा वाराणसी में यूपी की सच्ची हालत। सड़क पे रात को हजारों युवा शराब पिए सड़क पे लेटे हुए वाराणसी में बाजा चल रहा है। शराब पी पी के पूरा आपके युवा वाराणसी में नाच रहे।
कांग्रेस के युवराज परिवार ने क्या कहा? वो कह रहे हैं और काशी की धरती पर आके कह रहे हैं, काशी के नौजवान, यूपी के नौजवान नशेड़ी है। ये कैसी भाषा है भाई? मोदी को गाली देते देते तो इन्होंने 2 दशक बिता लिए, लेकिन अब ईश्वर रूपी जनता जनार्दन पर, यूपी के नौजवानों पर ही ये लोग अपनी फ्रस्ट्रेशन निकाल रहे हैं।
Then came the takedown of Rahul Gandhi's comments about Aishwarya Rai Bachchan being part of the Ram Mandir Pran Pratishtha ceremony.
आपसे पूछना चाहता हूं, आपने राम मंदिर का फंक्शन देखा? उसमें आपने एक ओबीसी चेहरा देखा, एक दलित चेहरा देखा, एक आदिवासी चेहरा देखा? नहीं, उसमें एक नहीं था। उसमें अमिताभ बच्चन थे, ऐश्वर्या राय थी, नरेंद्र मोदी थे।
इनको काशी और अयोध्या का नया स्वरूप बिल्कुल पसंद नहीं आ रहा। आप देखिए, अपने भाषणों में राम मंदिर को लेकर कैसी कैसी बातें करते हैं, कैसी कैसी बातों से हमले करते हैं। मैं नहीं जानता था कि कांग्रेस को प्रभु श्री राम से इतनी नफरत है।
The Prime Minister also hit out at the Congress-SP alliance in Uttar Pradesh.
हर चुनाव के दौरान साथ आते हैं और जब परिणाम नील बटा सन्नाटा आता है तो ये एक दूसरे को गाली देते हुए अलग हो जाते हैं। माल वही है, पैकिंग नहीं है। इस बार तो इनको जमानत बचाने के लिए ही बहुत संघर्ष करना पड़ेगा।
Development push and political symbolism. The Prime Minister's Varanasi visit was high on both. He visited OBC icon Sant Ravidas's temple, where the Prime Minister unveiled a statue and a museum. He also hit out at the opposition India bloc, accusing it of trying to create a caste divide.
हमारे देश में जाति के नाम पर उकसाने और उन्हें लड़ाने में भरोसा रखने वाले इंडी गठबंधन के लोग दलित, वंचित के हित की योजनाओं का विरोध करते हैं। ये लोग जाति की भलाई के नाम पर अपने परिवार के स्वार्थ की राजनीति करते हैं। उन्होंने जनधन खातों का भी मजाक उड़ाया था। इन्होंने डिजिटल इंडिया का विरोध किया था। इतना ही नहीं, परिवारवादी पार्टियों की एक और पहचान है, ये अपने परिवार से बाहर किसी भी दलित, आदिवासी को आगे बढ़ने नहीं देना चाहते। 10 वर्षों में विकास की गंगा ने काशी को सींचा है। काशी कितनी तेजी से बदली है, ये आप सभी ने साक्षात देखा है। यही मेरी काशी का सामर्थ्य है।
State Award 2024 has well and truly begun. Bureau Report, India Today.
Let's get you the first response coming in from Rahul Gandhi. He's hit back at the Prime Minister and once again put the focus on youth. Rahul Gandhi has gone ahead and said from Lucknow to Prayagraj, youth are out on the streets over the police recruitment paper leak. And just 100 kilometers away from there in Varanasi, the Prime Minister is misleading the youth in the name of the youth. He then goes on to in fact say and refer to the fact that the Prime Minister speaking about youngsters but not about the paper leak, saying in typical Varanasi style, if I were to put it, Prime Minister Modi is narrating the condition of his maternal grandmother to his maternal grandmother. It's a very familiar saying in Banaras, but essentially Rahul Gandhi's message is that the Prime Minister is preaching to the youth about their issues but not actually addressing their issues. So while in fact Prime Minister Modi hit back at Rahul Gandhi for his comment referring to youngsters as drunkards in Uttar Pradesh, particularly in his constituency of Varanasi, Rahul Gandhi said, why hasn't the Prime Minister spoken on the paper leak issue that has led to so many youngsters being affected? Let's bring in our reporters on this broadcast. Paulami Saha is joining us live from Delhi. We have Abhishek Mishra, who's joining us live from Varanasi. Abhishek, in Varanasi, I want to understand from you, how has the Prime Minister's speech really resonated, particularly because it comes days after Rahul Gandhi made that comment about youngsters in Varanasi being drunk when he stepped out. He saw all of these youngsters drinking and lying on the streets, as he put it.
Well, absolutely, Akshita. And with this address, Prime Minister Modi has tried to address that issue and that comment which Rahul made during his Bharat Jodo Nyaya Yatra in Varanasi. He clearly said that the way he has referred that term for the youngsters of Kashi is an insult. He also referred it in the fact that it will certainly be, given it back to him in the elections. These youngsters will certainly give it back to him. He also spoke about the fact that how there are employment generation happening. The plant which he inaugurated will opens the door for a lot of employment, direct and indirectly to the farmers, to all these people related to animal husbandry. So that is what he said. But on the other hand, we have seen how Rahul had again made a comment mentioning the paper leak issue, which is very prevalent in Uttar Pradesh. It clearly indicates that just before the general elections, this was in a way an official campaign of Prime Minister Modi in Varanasi, in Purvanchal, and mentioning that core issue of youngsters. But Rahul Gandhi constantly on the go. He's also going to start the Western UP Yatra from tomorrow. Again, give it back to Prime Minister Modi and to the Modi government that why such issues are not raised. Clearly an indication that the battle is on between both of them before the elections. Correct. And it remains to be seen what all will happen. But certainly Prime Minister has tried to voice as a member of parliament and a representative of the Varanasi, and at the same time has also slammed the India Alliance, mentioning it as an old item in a new packaging.
What you're saying, what you're saying right now, and we've seen these kind of face-offs before between Prime Minister Modi and Rahul Gandhi. But in the run-up to the election, this perhaps has been the fiercest flashpoint that we've seen just yet. And the fact that it's all playing out in Uttar Pradesh speaks volumes of how crucial the state is for every single political party. You see a more aggressive Rahul Gandhi in the Bharat Jodo Nyaya Yatra, picking up on every single issue, even now responding to the Prime Minister by asking why didn't the Prime Minister speak on the paper leaks that many youngsters in Uttar Pradesh are struggling with. You have the Prime Minister addressing every single issue that Rahul Gandhi spoke of to hit back, and that tells you how every party right now is putting all of their energy into Uttar Pradesh. I'd like to bring in Paulami Saha also on this broadcast to bring the focus once again back to what the Prime Minister has said, Paulami, and what the BJP strategy is in the face of the Bharat Jodo Nyaya Yatra in this leg across Uttar Pradesh, and also the fact that the Congress SP have their alliance sealed. Does all this kind of worry the BJP? Are they going to be changing track, changing strategy, getting more aggressive on ground?
Well, absolutely, Akshita. They will have to re-strategize at a time when they possibly thought that, the Congress wasn't able to stitch alliances across states with, smaller regional parties. The Congress is working on the ground. It is already stitched an alliance with the Samajwadi Party in Uttar Pradesh, with the Aam Aadmi Party. We're expecting an announcement to be made very soon as far as Delhi, Haryana and Gujarat are concerned. Punjab, of course, is still unclear. And then, of course, comes the alliance in Maharashtra with NCP and, of course, the UBD faction of the Shiv Sena. And then, of course, there are conversations and murmurs in the corridors that possibly they could stitch an alliance back with the Trinamool Congress as well. Though, again, that's in the unclear realm at the moment. So this is, this would mean that the BJP would have to re-strategize, would have to replan its whole game plan as far as the Lok Sabha elections are concerned. Uttar Pradesh is an extremely crucial state. 80 Lok Sabha seats are from the state of Uttar Pradesh. The BJP has done very well in the past assembly elections and, of course, in the general election in 2019. But will this alliance, change things and shake things up, especially with the Samajwadi Party, Akhilesh working on the ground, with tying up with smaller strongmen and other netas in Uttar Pradesh as well, so that he can cash in on their strongholds and their specific vote banks as well, even if they mean over 3 or 4 assembly constituencies in the larger Lok Sabha game. He's doing that, so that would mean that the BJP will have to look at the same. As far as the People League issue is concerned, the BJP's response is, we brought a bill in Parliament in the last session which tackled this very same issue. So we are cognizant of what the people on the ground want, what the youth on the ground are looking for us at. But yes, this is about the core vote banks that the BJP is targeting, which the Prime Minister, has put in the form of an acronym, which is GYAN, which is Garib, Yuva, Annadata and Nari. Yuva is a huge crucial part, a new vote bank, a big vote bank, and both sides will be, of course, targeting the same.
Both sides are very clearly doing so in their rallies as well. You compare what the Prime Minister is speaking about, you compare what Rahul Gandhi is speaking about, they're all very clearly targeting their speech, their addresses at youngsters, at first-time voters and several others, kind of trying to address their issues as well. Paulami and Abhishek, thanks very much for joining us on this broadcast. Look, the Prime Minister also in his speech says, and while he's repeatedly spoken about 400 Par, when he speaks about Uttar Pradesh, he also says this time we have to ensure 80 out of 80 in Uttar Pradesh. It's a tall ask. The BJP, of course, is dominant in Uttar Pradesh. And that's very clear from all of the numbers, the opinion polls that come out, and the sheer strength that they have on ground. But can it be an 80 out of 80? That's a very, very tall ask of the Bharatiya Janata Party, of the NDA. So the Prime Minister also is going to be campaigning in the weeks to come in many parts of Uttar Pradesh. Today in Varanasi as well. Besides, of course, those political attacks on Rahul Gandhi, there were several other big, significant takeaways from his visit, including a Dalit outreach. Now, while the Prime Minister was in Varanasi, he unveiled the statue of Sant Guru Ravidas in Varanasi, offered floral tributes as well. This was on the occasion of the 647th birth anniversary of the Sant. The Prime Minister also spoke about what his government plans to do for Dalits, for tribals, and came down heavily on the opposition, said that for long they've in fact sidelined and completely ignored Dalits. So it's important to highlight that there was a Dalit outreach also by the Prime Minister at the time when the BJP is also actively wooing this vote bank, not just Uttar Pradesh, but across the country.
Ahead of the 2024 poll battle, Prime Minister Narendra Modi reaches out to Dalits in the politically crucial state of Uttar Pradesh. Prime Minister Modi on Friday offered prayers at the Sant Ravidas temple in his constituency, Varanasi. He unveiled the statue of Sant Ravidas inside the temple premises.
रविदास जी कहते थे, जात पात के फेर मही उर्जी रही सब लोग, मानुष ताकू खात है, रविदास जात कर लोग। अर्थात ज्यादातर लोग जात पात के भेद में उलझे रहते हैं, उलझाते रहते हैं। जात पात का यही रोग मानवता का नुकसान करता है।
Modi came down heavily on the Congress, accusing the grand old party of ignoring Dalits.
हमारे देश में जाति के नाम पर उकसाने और उन्हें लड़ाने में भरोसा रखने वाले इंडी गठबंधन के लोग दलित, वंचित के हित की योजनाओं का विरोध करते हैं। और सच्चाई ये है कि लोग जाति की भलाई के नाम पर अपने परिवार के स्वार्थ की राजनीति करते हैं। परिवारवादी पार्टियों की एक और पहचान है, ये अपने परिवार से बाहर किसी भी दलित, आदिवासी को आगे बढ़ने नहीं देना चाहते।
Prime Minister Modi highlighted the development work undertaken in Varanasi since he came to power.
10 वर्षों में विकास की गंगा ने काशी को सींचा है, काशी कितनी तेजी से बदली है, ये आप सभी ने साक्षात देखा है। यही मेरी काशी का सामर्थ्य है, यही महादेव की कृपा की ताकत है।
The Prime Minister inaugurated and laid foundation stones for multiple development projects worth more than 13,000 crore rupees in Varanasi. Bureau Report, India Today.
So those were some of the highlights of the Prime Minister's visit to his constituency of Varanasi, loaded, of course, with symbolism and significance for the BJP in the run-up to the election. Let's talk about Rahul Gandhi in contrast and his campaign so far. It's, of course, been largely centered around the Yatra. You saw it with the Bharat Jodo Yatra, phase 1, which was south to north, rather. And then, of course, now you have east to west also playing out, in which, of course, he's entered into Uttar Pradesh. This is the Bharat Jodo Yatra. What is the impact this kind of a campaign is really having? Is it enough to go ahead and take on a Narendra Modi? You've seen a lot of opinions saying that, look, this is almost like a holiday for Rahul Gandhi. Many of his detractors saying that this yatra has no impact. But here's what we found in our surveys. When we asked the question of whether Rahul's politics has improved after the yatra, 35% said yes, 42% said no. Now, it will be interesting to see if at the end of this yatra, that number actually changes. But our Mood of the Nation survey suggests that at this point, many still believe that Rahul Gandhi has to do a lot more to change his image. Now, the politics that we're referring to here is also, of course, largely to do with the image that he has. And that perhaps will change maybe in the days to come as his yatra goes forward. If, of course, he doesn't succeed in that, it will be a big jolt to the Congress, because largely Rahul Gandhi's campaign to contrast the Prime Minister, to take on the Prime Minister, is focused on this yatra. So we'll have to see what really he pulls off in the weeks to come. What about Rahul's performance as an opposition leader? Do people believe that he is a strong voice sitting in the opposition benches who's raising the right issues and cornering the government? Here's what we found. These are, in fact, two data figures that we're showing you. One of the Mood of the Nation survey that we conducted in August 2023 and the latest one which we aired just a few weeks ago. You see those particular numbers and it's not looking good for Rahul Gandhi. Many believe that his performance back in August was outstanding, 34%. That number slipped to 23%. So all of those who backed Rahul Gandhi, said his performance is outstanding, has actually turned into a detractor critique of Rahul Gandhi, because you see that number of people who believe his performance as an opposition leader is poor. That's gone from 27% to 35%. You've got good, average, more or less the same numbers there. But all of this kind of indicative that people believe that Rahul Gandhi isn't taking on the issues that they want, isn't a fierce voice in the opposition benches, isn't doing enough to counter the Prime Minister, to counter the Modi government. We'll have to again see, like I said earlier, what really the Yatra can do in terms of Rahul's image and whether it changes this, that he is actually an effective opposition leader. A lot of that also is dependent on two seats in Uttar Pradesh, Amethi and Raebareli. There are 80 seats up for grabs in UP. It's a very, very crucial state for every political party. But there are always two seats that from almost nearly after independence to today is closely watched. The seats of Amethi and Raebareli. This election, there are questions about whether we'll actually see Rahul return to Amethi. Or will the two legacy Gandhi seats see for the first time no Gandhis in the fray, considering Sonia Gandhi has also said that she's going into the Rajya Sabha this time. Here's a sneak peek into an India Today special coming your way very, very soon. They say change is the only constant, right?
So-called dynasty.
But somehow, the Lok Sabha constituencies of Amethi and Raebareli have to fight this logic.
Amethi mein parivarik rishta hai.
Always seen as the bastion of the Gandhi family. But how long can you defy the inevitable?
नाम को तो बड़ा वोट दिया, अब काम को वोट दीजिए.
अमेठी की जनता के लिए क्या बदला?
ऐसा है कि यहाँ पे उनके टक्कर का कोई नेता है नहीं। 2024 में रायबरेली में भी कमल खिलेगा और रायबरेली सीट गांधी परिवार हारेगी।
Political survival of Rahul Gandhi, reclaiming the legacy.
Send Rahul Gandhi back and he will lose again. That is my promise.
400 पार है तो उसमें अमेठी भी शामिल रहेगा।
Is there a Gandhi in the future of these two heartland towns?
चला गया अमेठी और रायबरेली जब गांधी परिवार नहीं रहा।
Or is that now a thing of the past?
प्रीति ईरानी से तो 2 गुना नाराज किया है।
हमें तो कांग्रेसियों के ऊपर तरस आता है।
India bloc finally talking numbers. Seat sharing talks in full swing. Delhi deal finalized finally. Congress claims talks on with Mamta Banerjee.
ममता बनर्जी के साथ बातचीत अभी भी जारी है, दरवाजे बंद नहीं है।
Rahul dials Uddhav for Maharashtra seats. But Prime Minister Modi dismisses the India bloc.
हर चुनाव के दौरान साथ आते हैं और जब परिणाम नील बटा सन्नाटा आता है तो ये एक दूसरे को गाली देते हुए अलग हो जाते हैं।
India gears up for battle 2024.
With weeks to go for the general elections, the India bloc seems to be finally getting their act together as far as seat sharing goes. For the last many weeks, it looked like it was one setback after another, but finally now they're getting down to talking about numbers. There are seat sharing deals being signed as we speak. Think of course, the Congress-SP alliance. In other states too, whether it's Delhi, whether it's Maharashtra, whether it's Jammu and Kashmir, Bengal even, the Congress is optimistic now of coming up with alliances to ensure that they fight with regional parties and thereby better their chances. It's a wake-up call of sorts perhaps, with many regional parties who've spoken out openly against the Congress, and that's got the Grand Old Party back on track. We're now seeing a lot of these talks moving positively and perhaps announcements happening very, very soon. Let's take this state by state, starting off with the national capital, with what's happening in Delhi. Now we hear on India Today that there is a formula that's been come out, that's in fact been finalized more or less between Congress and AAP, where the AAP would fight in 4 seats and the Congress would fight in 3. The blueprint has been finalized. There was in fact news coming in that there would be an announcement today, and yet that's been delayed. So today there's going to be no announcement officially of the alliance between Congress and AAP. It leads to obviously questions about whether all is well, or has there been some hiccup that's really come in the talks between Congress and Aam Aadmi Party, not just in Delhi but in other states as well, like Haryana and Gujarat. I want to bring in right now Preeti Chaudhary on this broadcast. Preeti, there were reports that suggested that today is the day we will see an official announcement of the alliance between Congress and AAP. There's yet another delay. Is there some reason for that? Some hiccup perhaps, or Congress demanding more?
You know, it's a very peculiar situation, because first up, there was no official announcement. It was sources that the Congress and the Aam Aadmi Party would be coming in by this evening and making the seat sharing announcement final. Or what I'm been given to understand by both sides, the Congress and my sources within the Aam Aadmi Party, is that the blueprint is final. However, what has happened in the last half hour is a bit of a hiccup, because if you go to the Twitter timeline of Ahmed Patel's son, Faisal Patel, he's actually tweeted out and suggesting that Rahul Gandhi has committed the seat of Bharuch to the Congress cadre in the for the seat of Bharuch. Is important, Akshita, to underline, has been promised as per the blueprint to the Aam Aadmi Party. The Aam Aadmi Party candidate is already campaigning where the seat of Bharuch is concerned. And this was in the give and take. Bharuch and Bhavnagar were 2 seats in the state of Gujarat that were promised to the Aam Aadmi Party. And that particular tweet has led to a bit of a flutter. between both camps, but with what I've spoken to them, both say that it will be materialized. There's nothing really to, that the talks will not go through. They'll definitely go through, but possibly the press conference we were looking at by this evening, that might not happen because a few hiccups need to clearly be ironed out, and especially where Ahmed Patel's family is concerned, be it his daughter Mumtaz or Faisal, because a tweet like that has led to a bit of a panic within the Aam Aadmi Party, saying, hello, you promised us this seat, and now your own party person is claiming that Rahul Gandhi's promised it to him. But all expected, with what we've seen in the India alliance. But both parties say that maybe not today, but it will happen soon, and talks are on board.
Okay, so delay, yes, but no question of this leading to any sort of cancellation of an alliance. Thanks very much, Preeti, for joining us with those details. So the issue between the Congress and AAP, not so much over Delhi, but over Gujarat, where the AAP reportedly in the formula was given 2 seats by the Congress. Let's switch over to what's happening in Bengal. Now, it's very interesting because in Bengal, you had Mamata Banerjee just a few weeks ago saying very clearly that they will not be tying up with the Congress. And now you have the Congress saying that we are very much still talking to Mamata Banerjee and we're hopeful of an alliance with Mamata in Bengal. The Congress reportedly is demanding about 6 Lok Sabha seats in Bengal. The TMC is offering 2. And this is where, in fact, the dialogue was stuck about weeks ago. And then you had comments by Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary saying, we're not going with a begging bowl to TMC. It angered Mamata. She said that they're not taking any action against Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary. And so we're calling off the alliance. But now with, in fact, this comment by Jairam Ramesh, who said that, look, we're still in talks with Mamata Banerjee. Is there still a chance of a TMC Congress tie-up in Bengal? Let me bring in Indrajit Kundu, who's joining us live from Kolkata. Indrajit, good evening. Is the TMC also expressing the same sentiment as the Congress? Are there actually talks, or is this, going to be looked at as an olive branch from the Congress?
Well, good evening, Akshita. As they say in politics, never say never, and never say a no till the last word is spoken. So we don't know, actually. But the Trinamool Congress, of course, sticks to its position because it is the party supremo, Mamata Banerjee, who had spoken out the final word a few weeks back when she said that the Trinamool Congress will go solo in West Bengal. Since then, we've seen some sort of an effort to placate Mamata Banerjee, even though consistently, even Rahul Gandhi had spoken out after Mamata Banerjee's statement that Mamata Banerjee is a very important pillar of the India alliance, that the Trinamool Congress is an important constituent of the alliance. But we didn't hear anything in reciprocation coming from the Trinamool Congress. But there seems to be a new beginning, because when the Trinamool Congress government is clearly on the back foot on this overall Sandesh Khali fiasco, Shubhendu Adhikari's comment against a Sikh police officer has been made into a big issue, and it seemed like a joint opposition narrative. So it was the same tweet that was tweeted by Mamata Banerjee's tweet was also tweeted by Rahul Gandhi. There were other leaders from the India Alliance who were also tweeting out in the same voice.
Has that really united the TMC and the Congress? Has TMC forgotten their anger over Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary's comments, all because of what's happened in Sandesh Khali? It'll be interesting if that's the case. Indro is getting us those updates from Kolkata. There are 2 other states we want to focus on, Maharashtra as well as Kashmir, because in these 2 states as well, the Congress is working hard to ensure that they can be an alliance. Seat sharing talks are underway. It's almost in the final leg, particularly in Maharashtra. And I want to first get that update from Ritvik on what's happening in Maharashtra. Rahul Gandhi reportedly has directly intervened. He's called Uddhav Thackeray. He's called Sharad Pawar. And reportedly at this point, there are about 8 Maharashtra seats where there's no decision that's been taken so far. Ritvik, get us the latest on this. What has really led to Rahul Gandhi having to directly dial Uddhav Thackeray and Sharad Pawar?
Well, Akshita, the call of Rahul Gandhi comes to Uddhav and Sharad Pawar after nearly more than 20 days of there's no consensus or seat sharing talks were halted, and we saw in Maharashtra one after the another prominent leaders from Congress are exiting, like Ashok Chavan, Baba Siddiqui and Milind Deora. and after that there were no seat sharing talks held. The talks were scheduled on 22nd of Feb, which were again postponed due to non-availability of the leaders. But now Rahul has pitched in and he has called, and he had an initial talks with both the senior leaders of MVA alliance, and it seems that there are conundrum still on 8 of the seats out of 48 on which there is no consensus. Both Congress and Shiv Sena are claiming most of the seats, and on 27th and 28th of the February again there will be meeting held, and they are claiming that this will be the final leg of the discussions, and they'll be announcing the total seat sharing.
If next week, as you tell us, Ritvik, we will see an announcement in this regard. Let's quickly shift over to what's happening in Jammu and Kashmir, where interestingly the Congress is reaching out to the National Conference. Seat sharing talks are underway. There are 6 seats there, considering of course that there are about 5 seats in Jammu and Kashmir, 1 in Ladakh, and we understand that a 50-50 formula is being worked out. Ashraf is with us for more on that. Ashraf, it will be interesting to see if this alliance comes through, because you had the likes of Farooq Abdullah saying, look, we've got an open mind, we're okay with even joining the NDA, and then Omar Abdullah, who attempted damage control, saying we're very much with the India bloc. What are you hearing on the latest on seat sharing?
Akshita, there is also a third partner, that is People's Democratic Party. The former Chief Minister of Jammu and Kashmir, Mehbooba Mufti, not only attended each and every meeting of the India alliance, but also she has come up and told that they are the part of the India alliance. That is the same story from the National Conference, and almost all the deal has been done, where, as you mentioned, 3 seats from the Valley will be contested by the National Conference. They want solely to contest those 3 seats, but there is some kind of a pressure from other leaders that at least out of 3 Lok Sabha constituencies in the Kashmir Valley, 1 should be given to the PDP, and other 3, 2 from the Jammu region and 1 from the Ladakh, are being given to the Congress in this alliance between regional parties and the Congress.
So we'll see how that plays out. Thanks very much, Ashraf. I'd like to thank Ritvik as well as Indrajit for getting us all the latest updates from their respective states. You know, this seat sharing talks within the India bloc was supposed to be finalized by December 31st. Then we heard, of course, first week of January, second week of January. We're well into February now. Hopefully, things are getting sealed for the India bloc in many states. We've seen it being firmed up in Uttar Pradesh. Now talks on in several other states, and the Congress is hopeful that announcements will be made in these states by next week itself. There's been all of this talk of Naya Kashmir, and Sachin Tendulkar, the cricketing legend, is most definitely endorsing that, spending his holiday in Kashmir. Now, there have been, of course, all these celebrities travelling out of India for their vacation. Sachin has decided to spend the holidays with his family in Kashmir. And there are pictures of him now in Pahalgam enjoying the snow with his daughter and his wife. Earlier, there was a video of Sachin playing cricket with locals as well in Kashmir. Interesting images this, and of course makes you want to definitely book your next trip to Kashmir. I'm leaving you with these images. Thanks for watching.